Archangel Michael says, you did not stumble upon this message by chance. The heavens are resounding with your name. Your soul has been knocking on the gates of destiny. And now, at long last, heaven has responded. However, pay close attention to what I have to say, because this is not merely a blessing. This is your last divine opportunity before the doors close. Your miracle has finally arrived. Is it a coincidence that I am sending you this message right now? It is one of the divine laws of the universe. Yes, it is the law of attraction. Before moving on to the message, please like the video so that this message can reach other people as well, my dear. You must also receive and accept this message with love. If you write I received and accepted it with love in the comments and seal it with 1232, you will maintain the balance of giving and receiving. Additionally, heaven is watching who responds. You will find a super thanks button below this video. When you donate $22 or more, you are not tipping a creator, you are planting a heavenly seed. And Archangel Michael promises, every divine seed bears divine fruit. Support the awakening. Heaven remembers those who do this. Don't forget to stay tuned and subscribe for our other messages, adds Archangel Michael. Now we can slowly move on to the message. The very thing you've been crying out for in the quietest moments. That one prayer whispered at midnight. The wish you buried under layers of disappointment. It has reached the throne of the Most High. And now it is here. But there's a catch. Heaven has been watching you. Not in judgment, but in love, in waiting, in protection. Every setback was not a punishment, but rather a redirection. Every heartbreak was not the end. Heaven will take it back within minutes if you walk away or scroll past this holy signal. You may not realize it, but heaven has been watching you. It was the reshaping of your spirit in preparation for what is about to come. And now the skies are shifting. Your name has been whispered into the winds of change. The angels are moving. Destiny is no longer sleeping. However, child, I regret to inform you that this is your final call. What you are about to receive is something that others will only dream about. The door that was closed for years. It's open. That opportunity that kept slipping away, it's here. But this is a timed miracle. This is a divine test. Will you believe? Will you receive? Or will fear win again? Don't miss this. You've been walking with a broken heart, but a loyal soul. That loyalty to the light has not gone unnoticed. And now the reward is on its way. But before you catch it, you must claim it. This message is the confirmation you prayed for. Remember that night when you sat in silence questioning if God had forgotten you? That night when you whispered, if you're real, send me a sign. This is the confirmation you prayed for. When you have not seen results, heaven has been keeping a record. I, Archangel Michael, the protector of light and the warrior of truth, am not here by happenstance. Rather, I am here by order, by divine instruction. And I am telling you, your life is about to change in a way that you cannot ever conceive. However, if you choose to disregard this, you will go back to the waiting room of life. You will watch others rise while wondering why your time never came. But your time is here, right now. Heaven does not beg. Heaven opens a gate and watches who walks through. You're standing at the edge of a miracle, but miracles aren't gentle. They require a leap, a surrender, a yes. Are you ready? This message was carved into divine timing. You were meant to read these exact words on this exact day. You are not crazy. You are not cursed. You are not abandoned. You are called. You are called to a purpose that is greater than you have imagined. You are called to a love that is deeper than you have known. You are called to a blessing that is more powerful than you have believed. The feeling that is rising in your chest right now is not a coincidence. It is activation. It is your spirit recognizing the truth. However, you must stop having doubts, you must stop putting things off, and you must stop telling heaven that you are not prepared because, regardless of whether you are aware of it or not, you are prepared. Heaven does not call the perfect, it calls the willing, and you have been selected for something that is of tremendous importance. You are about to step into a season where the battles you've been fighting for years suddenly break. Where the no's you've heard become a thunderous yes. Where doors that were bolted shut swing wide without effort. But this is a test of trust. If you truly want what you've been asking for, you must stop treating this message like another nice post. This is your instruction. This is your moment. Do not ignore it. This is your final divine warning. You don't need another sign, and you don't need more time. What you need right now is to believe, because the truth is that your breakthrough is just one bold move away. And if you take it, heaven will rush in to meet you. Miracles don't require understanding, they require obedience. This moment has been written in the stars, and you have no idea what is coming to you. You currently believe that you have lost. You believe that it is finished, but in reality, it is just beginning. The blessings that are going to crash into your life will stun even your enemies. People will watch and say, "How did they go from that to this?" No, darling, you have been protected. You will smile, not with a sense of superiority, but with a sense of divine appreciation, because you will know that God was the one who did it. Heaven heard your cry and responded with fire. However, I will not sugarcoat this. If you allow fear to triumph, if you allow doubt to speak louder than faith, this window will close. And once it closes, it may not open again for a very, very long time. Heaven is generous, but it is also strategic. The miracle is here. It is surrounding you. It is waiting for your response at this very moment. You are going to witness miracles in your finances, in your relationships, in your health, and in your spirit. These are things that you have been yearning for. However, you should not be passive. Claim it. Speak it. Move as if it has already been done. Because when faith aligns with divine timing, the supernatural becomes your new normal. Answers, healing, clarity, they're all on the other side of your obedience to this moment. Do not scroll past this. Do not ignore it. Do not say, "Maybe tomorrow." There is no tomorrow in the spirit. There is only now. And right now, heaven is ready to show off in your life. I am Archangel Michael, and I have drawn my sword not to fight your battles because they're already won, but to cut away your fear, to slice through your hesitation, to remove everything that's been holding you back from seeing just how powerful you really are. You were never small. You have never been weak. You have never been forgotten. You have been hidden. And now you are being revealed. The world needs you. Your story, your voice, your light. It is not just for you. It is for others who are still lost in the dark. However, how can you lead if you do not rise? This is your time to rise. However, child, I must say it once more. Do not blink. Do not doubt. Do not delay. You were warned. You were chosen. Now you are anointed. Dove, wait. If you do not take this moment seriously, if you shrug it off like it is just another message, you will feel the silence of heaven again. This time, it will not be a punishment, but rather the echo of an opportunity that you have missed. Do not let that be your story. Your miracle is here. One last thing before you leave. If this message found your soul, if something deep inside you stirred while reading, that's not just emotion. That's spiritual alignment. That's proof you were meant to receive this now. Love letter. Subscribe to stay connected to divine guidance. Gemstone. Be the first to receive sacred messages, angel whispers, and prophecy direct to your soul. Sparkles. Do not allow heaven to whisper without your heart hearing it. Tap the subscribe button right now because your next message could be the one that changes everything. Your miracle is watching how you respond in this moment. Make it count. If you are still here, then you have already passed the first test because those who are called cannot walk away from divine truth. You feel it now, don't you? That burning in your chest, that whisper in your mind that says, this is not just a message. It pulls at them. It stirs something old, something everlasting, something sacred in the blood. It stirs something in the blood. This is about me. You are correct. It is about you. It has always been about you. Now is the moment for you to rise. However, I must assure you that I must repeat this statement once more. Do not blink. Do not doubt. Do not delay. You were warned. You were chosen. Now you are anointed. Dove, wait. If you do not take this moment seriously, if you shrug it off like it is just another message, you will feel the silence of heaven again. This time, it will not be a punishment, but rather the echo of an opportunity that you have missed. Do not let that be your story. Your miracle is here. One final thing before you leave. If this message touched your heart and it moved something deep within you as you were reading it, that is not simply an emotional reaction, that is spiritual alignment. That is evidence that you were destined to receive this at this very moment. Love letter. Subscribe to stay connected to divine guidance. Gemstone. Sparkles. Do not allow heaven to whisper without your heart hearing. Tap the subscribe button right now because your next message may be the one that changes everything. Your miracle is watching how you respond in this moment. Make it count. Sparkles. Be the first to receive sacred messages, angel whispers, and prophecy directly to your soul. Still here? Then you've already passed the first test. Because those who are called can't walk away from divine truth. It pulls at them. It stirs something ancient, something eternal, something sacred in the blood. You feel it now, don't you? That heat in your chest, that whisper in your mind that says, this is not just a message. The focus here is on me. You have a point. This pertains to you. Everything has always been about you. This is not merely a season of successes and achievements. Your spiritual enlightenment has just occurred. The time for revelation has arrived, and you have entered it. Your spirit has finally aligned with the period that God established before the foundations of the planet, and as a result, the plans that heaven has for your life are being unlocked right now. No, it is the magnitude of the moment we are in. Heaven is not using your time as a measuring stick. You appear to be wondering why it is taking such a long time. However, child, there was never any delay. The divine preparation was in place. The reason for this is that the responsibility that is about to be placed in your hands demands you to have strength, clarity, and faith. Because you are now prepared. Don't get ready and comfy confused with one another. The subsequent phase of your life will not be like the one that came before it. What comes next will take you by surprise. It is not because you have changed that people will not recognize you. Rather, it is because your light has become significantly brighter than the version of you that they remember. And it's not a problem. Ignore their misunderstandings. Allow them to raise questions. It is best to let them go. What you used to be is not who you are now. Moreover, you are not going to return. If this touched your soul, don't wait. Tap super thanks and give what's in your heart. Because what is going to happen after this is not going to be healing. This is an overflow. There is more to it than merely becoming restored. You will be receiving an upgrade. This is not a simple matter of God repaying you. You are going to receive public recognition for each and every private conflict that you have battled. Even if everyone else thought you were doing well, you were crying in private. Heard from above. You maintained your loyalty even when others abandoned you. Heaven was able to see. During the time that they were smearing filth on your name, you kept your hands clean. The heavens maintained a score. At this moment, God is about to install you in places where your name has already been mentioned. Individuals are going to look at you and ask questions such as how, when, and who assisted them. One word will be the answer, and that word is God. There is no need for you to do so. There is no need for you to persuade. You shall be surrounded by the evidence of the divine in every way. However, here is the reality. It is not everyone who will rejoice over you. There are some people who will not cheer for you when your miracle comes to pass. Since you are not being brought up for the sake of gaining popularity, you must be all right with the fact that not everyone is capable of bearing the weight of heavenly favor. You are being brought up with a higher purpose. The light that you emit will enrage demons. Old ties will be put to the test by your climb. With your favor, hidden adversaries will be revealed. However, do not be timid. If you want to maintain peace, you should not dilute down your glory. You are the response to a cry that has been heard for generations. It is someone in your family tree who prayed for you to come into existence. You have broken the chain, you have broken the cycle, and you are the voice that hell prayed would never come back up. You, however, are here. And I, Archangel Michael, have been dispatched to wage war against anything that continues to attempt to prevent you from achieving your goals. Several chains are breaking. Currently, there are delays. There is a collapse of curses, and it is not because you have earned it, rather, it is because God picked you. You must understand that this is not about your flawlessness. It is about the position you hold. Heaven has just opened a window for you to go through, and you are currently positioned beneath it. However, the windows open and close, the breezes change, and time does not wait forever. This is the reason why a warning was included with this message. Because the miracle that is about to be bestowed upon you is not a minor one. It will not just alter the course of your life. The lives of those who are connected to you, your family, and your future will be altered as a result of this. The holy discharge will cause even your adversaries to feel the ripples of its effects. However, you will need to take action. You have to have faith. It is imperative that you move as if you have faith that angels are paving the way. Why is it the case? I have dispatched angels to walk in front of you, to rearrange the way, to block the traps, to confound your adversaries, and to illuminate the path that lies ahead of you. However, you must refrain from gazing in the rearview mirror. There was a time when that relationship had to come to an end. When that door was shut, it was a sense of protection. Those opportunities that you did not take advantage of were not a blessing for you. Put an end to crying over closed doors. Beginning to make preparations for those that are about to fly open. Mostly due to the fact that some of you have been confined to a jail that could be described as almost liked, almost chosen, almost promoted, and almost healed. However, I am speaking this today by the authority of God. You are almost finished with your season. You are entering the realm of things that have already been completed. The miracle is not happening anytime soon. That is already in place. You are not praying to God for help. Awaiting your arrival is He. It is not possible to pray for anything else. You are to follow this advice. Take a step forward. Proceed with that step. Let that message be sent. Make that dream a reality. Send in your application for that thing. Tell the truth. Write down that vision and listen to that whisper. In real time, heaven will listen to your prayers, but only if you move forward with trust. Also, allow me to share with you something else. You will be surprised by how quickly heaven responds to your prayers. Turnarounds that take place within hours, unexpected calls, money released, disease reversed, contracts offered, and miracles that will cause people to gasp for air are all things that you may expect to see. All of this is not hype. The sacred is this. In spite of this, you must be prepared because once the floodgates are opened, they will not be shut again. To be successful, you are going to need to move quickly. It will be necessary for you to release things immediately. Instead of feeling guilty, you will have to say no. The only option is to let folks depart without offering an apology. How come? Due to the fact that this miracle is holy. It is not appropriate to handle sacred items in a casual manner. My advice to you at this moment is to get ready, to make room, to clear your heart, and to set your house in order. There must be room for the blessing. Don't allow your hands be full of bitterness when wealth arrives. While heaven talks of abundance, you should not allow your tongue to speak of uncertainty. When you are being called by the name of the future, you should not allow your eyes to remain fixed on the past. The following is not only a message. This is the final instance of your spiritual alignment. It is a straightforward question. Are you going to believe that the angels have spoken at this moment? Are you going to accept it now that heaven has validated it? On the other hand, are you going to leave and ponder what might have been? The miracle cannot be denied. The warning is a sound one. It is up to you to decide. Dove, yet another divine whisper to you. You are not the only one who feels this way. There are other people who are awakening at the same time as you. It is those individuals who experience the same pull, the same fire, and the same thirst for the action of God in their life. An illuminating star has joined the selected love letter. Sign up right away to get additional divine counsel, prophesy in real time, and holy revelation as it happens. Due to the fact that this is not the conclusion. The beginning has arrived. And your miracle is currently in the process of beginning. Even now, my dearest, I am still speaking. Due to the fact that some of you are still on the fence. All of this is not hype. The sacred is this. In spite of this, you must be prepared because once the floodgates are opened, they will not be shut again. To be successful, you are going to need to move quickly. It will be necessary for you to release things immediately. Instead of feeling guilty, you will have to say no. The only option is to let folks depart without offering an apology. How come? Because of the sacred nature of this miracle, it is not possible to handle sacred items in a thoughtless manner. At this point, I want you to get ready. Make sure your heart is clear. The house needs to be cleaned up. Make room for it. There must be room for the blessing. Make sure that you do not allow your hands to be full of resentment when abundance arrives. While heaven talks of abundance, you should not allow your tongue to speak of uncertainty. When you are being called by the name of the future, you should not allow your eyes to remain fixed on the past. The following is not only a message. This is the final instance of your spiritual alignment. It is a straightforward question. Are you going to believe that the angels have spoken at this moment? Are you going to accept it now that heaven has validated it? On the other hand, are you going to leave and ponder what might have been? The miracle cannot be denied. The warning is a sound one. It is up to you to decide. Dove, yet another divine whisper to you. You are not the only one who feels this way. There are other people who are awakening at the same time as you. It is those individuals who experience the same pull, the same fire, and the same thirst for the action of God in their life. A brilliant star. Participate in the selected love letter. Sign up right away to get additional divine counsel, prophesy in real time, and holy revelation as it happens. Due to the fact that this is not the conclusion. The beginning has arrived. And your miracle is currently in the process of beginning. I am continuing to talk, dearly beloved, since there are still some of you who are hesitating. Even though you are standing on hallowed ground, you are unsure whether or not this moment is actually yours. Permit me to explain things to you in detail. This message was composed with your name included in it before the clock started ticking. You are not experiencing emotion when you feel a burning in your chest. Indeed, that is a divine reminiscence. This voice is no stranger to your soul. It is something that you have heard in your dreams during times of profound surrender when no one else was able to hear your cries. You were never alone yourself. Not for even an instant. Heaven was watching over you even during the most difficult time of your life, while you were breaking down behind closed doors. Right now, I need you to become aware of something very significant. Your suffering was never taken in vain. The loss you suffered was never in vain. Your silent fortitude, your broken seasons, and your long nights were not disregarded. They were heard and appreciated. Their existence was documented in the archives of heaven. Finally, the release is about to take place. A release of spiritual authority in addition to the blessings that have been bestowed upon you. It is not merely a miracle that you are receiving. You're going to become one. In this moment, you are being positioned, equipped, empowered, and anointed. For the reason that what is coming to you is not simply for your convenience. Because it is for your calling. You did not come into this world to live. To transform, to awaken, to climb, and to lead is what you were born to do. This is the reason why the pressure was so intense. Because of this, your life seemed more difficult than typical. Simply because the weight of your destiny demanded that you do it. Because you were about to walk over flames without getting burned, you were made in fire just so you could do that. On account of the fact that your platform does not permit interruptions, you were evaluated in isolation. Due to the fact that your oil was still being pressed, you continued to remain hidden from the spotlight. However, at this moment, the oil is prepared to flow. Heaven saw you watch this. Now let heaven see your response. Give $20 plus through Super Thanks. The sound of your name is about to reverberate through locations that you have never been before. How come? Because heaven has sent its blessing to you. If God has ordained something, then no man, no system, and no devil can stop it. As well as, God has selected you. I must, however, whisper something into your spirit, and here it is. You have to remain in alignment if you want this blessing to continue, if you want this miracle to materialize, and if you want this glory to unfurl. It is imperative that you safeguard your tranquility and put an end to your inner critic. You must not believe the lies that convince you that you are not deserving of love. I have faith in you. You are prepared to go. Despite the fact that you have been anointed, you must walk as if the promise has already been fulfilled. If you want to believe, you shouldn't wait till the blessing arrives. Rely on your faith and watch the blessing come to you. Heaven is not based on sight but rather on trust. Those who have faith in the divine are the ones who are obeyed by it, not those who have doubts. And clearly hear what I have to say, child of light. The next 7 days of your life are a window of opportunity for the divine. During the course of these 7 days, you will receive unmistakable indications, heavenly instructions, unexpected meetings, and alignment with the supernatural force. However, they will only become active if you pay attention to this warning. Act on it, share it with others, write it down, and speak it out loud. You should not act as if this is a typical situation. A divine interruption has just occurred. God interrupted your timeline and shouted, "No more delay. No more confusion. No more fear." It is now your responsibility to respond with fire. God has stepped into your chronology. It has been much too long since some of you have spoken up. You have allowed fear to take you away from your purpose. You've allowed the trauma to deter you from speaking up. As a result of allowing others to limit your vision. Now, however, you are rising. You do not rise in your own power, but rather in the fire of the divine. I can hear your voice once again. A return of your audacity is occurring. You are experiencing a resurgence of your dreams. And as I speak, angels are being deployed. Yes, at this very moment, they are going through the motions of moving through paperwork, phone calls, talks, and sealed doors. Because you had the courage to believe, because you paused and listened, and because you heard your name in this, they are removing obstacles, releasing funding, and breaking generational chains. You were, in fact, destined to do it. In this planet, there are more than 7 billion people already. Nevertheless, heaven put everything on hold for you. Now it is up to you to make a decision. In this, do you walk around? Do you act as if this is the proper time for you? Do you act as if you are someone who is in favor? Because if you do that, everything will react differently to you with its response. Individuals will honor you in a different manner. Various opportunities will be drawn to you like a magnet. You will find that peace is your home. Doors are going to swing open. As soon as there is no resistance, battles will end. The energy of victory, not that of a victim, is what you need to bring with you. Each of your words must correspond to the prophecy. There is no more. But I have no idea how. There is no more. What happens if I am unsuccessful? There is no more. Perhaps the next time. No, the time is now. Put it out there. Yes, it is my turn. Now is the time for me. It is an accomplished task. Due to the fact that when you utter it, you enclose it. It is this that the adversary is most concerned about. Rather than your suffering, it is your awakening to your power. Hell will shake with fear the minute you become aware of who you are in the spirit realm. And you are coming to terms with it now. Listen to me once more. You have not been forgotten about. Your presence was not overlooked. You are currently being constructed. And at this moment, you are being exposed. When it comes to what God is about to accomplish through you, the world is not prepared. Nevertheless, that is irrelevant. It is time for heaven. The angels are on their way. And your miracle is already waiting for you at the entrance to your home. To the final whisper of heaven, dove. You are not visiting this location by chance if you have made it this far. Through the voice of God, you are being called into divine alignment. In addition, if this message sparked a fire within you, if your spirit whispered, "This is for me," then you should take action. To express love, send in your subscription right away to get the next divine instruction. It's possible that the next communication you receive will be the culmination of everything you've been anticipating. Because your miracle isn't going to wait around forever, you shouldn't simply read, you should comment on it. At this very moment, it is observing how you move. And the heavens are still paying attention. Would you say yes with your voice? You must still be present. Your soul has not yet let go, as shown by this. I am required to go deeper with you because you stayed, because you allowed this heavenly fire to pierce your heart, and because you allowed yourself to be surrounded by it. The message does not come to an end here quite yet. This is the portion of heaven that is dedicated only for those individuals who are actually members of the selected. When they hear the first whisper, the majority of people leave. However, those individuals who remain in the presence of truth are the ones who are able to witness the unfolding of the scrolls. Now, I have something that I would want to show you. Something that will completely change the course of your life. Permit me to make this perfectly clear. Hell will shake with fear the minute you become aware of who you are in the spirit realm. And you are coming to terms with it now. Listen to me once more. You have not been forgotten about. Your presence was not overlooked. As you were being constructed, and at this moment, you are being exposed. When it comes to what God is about to accomplish through you, the world is not prepared. Nevertheless, that is irrelevant. It is time for heaven. The angels are on their way. And your miracle is already waiting for you at the entrance to your home. To the final whisper of heaven, dove. You are not visiting this location by chance if you have made it this far. Through the voice of God, you are being called into divine alignment. In addition, if this message sparked a fire within you, if your spirit whispered, "This is for me," then you should take action. To express love, send in your subscription right now to get the next heavenly teaching. It's possible that the next communication you receive will be the culmination of everything you've been anticipating. Do not merely read, rather, respond. Due to the fact that your miracle is not going to wait around forever. At this very moment, it is observing how you move. And the heavens are still paying attention. Would you say yes with your voice? You must still be present. Your soul has not yet let go, as shown by this. I am required to go deeper with you because you stayed, because you allowed this heavenly fire to pierce your heart, and because you allowed yourself to be surrounded by it. The message does not come to an end here quite yet. This is the portion of heaven that is dedicated only for those individuals who are actually members of the selected. When they hear the first whisper, the majority of people leave. However, those individuals who remain in the presence of truth are the ones who are able to witness the unfolding of the scrolls. Now, I have something that I would want to show you. Something that will completely change the course of your life. Permit me to make this perfectly clear. You have a calling that is greater than your suffering. The weight of your future is greater than your anxiety. Your responsibility speaks louder than your embarrassment. And at this very moment, the time has come for you to recall what your spirit already knows. It is for a holy purpose that you have come here. You were not here to this planet to endure financial hardships, emotional anguish, and disappointments. Because of the manner you have risen from the ashes, you have come here to reawaken other people. Not every storm that you encountered was solely about you. It was a training day. Holy training. Because you are destined to guide other people through the storms that they are experiencing in their own lives. How, then, could you possibly lead them through a path that you have never explored? Due to this reason, the battles were quite severe. So that's why the flames seemed to go on forever. Due to the fact that you were not being punished. Your refinement was taking place. It appears that some of you are still unaware of the power that you possess. You never stop hoping that someone will come to your rescue. You are the one who will save the day, I tell you now. You have been the answer to our prayers. You are the one who people from previous generations have yearning for. In addition, now that you have the baton in your possession, what are your plans for using it? Are you going to give in to fear, or are you going to rise on fire? This will not be a trivial moment. You are currently being observed by heaven. That may sound dramatic, but it is the truth. I am aware of that. Your guardian angels are awaiting your command at this moment. If you do not actively engage them by faith, they will not move. Put an end to pleading with God to carry out the tasks that He has already delegated to you. Join me in saying it. The angels of the living God, I call upon you at this moment. To the world. On my behalf, please move. Make the necessary preparations. Take a break and wait. Get what has been closed open. When the time is right, I will release what is mine. In addition, I am receiving it now with the fire of heaven. Have you experienced that? There is no imagination in that. Given that your words are the keys, that is the manifestation of spiritual force moving via your voice. As a result, they reveal the hidden. The enemy made an effort to quiet you because of this. Because of this, the fight was taking place in your throat. Your dreams were stifled because of this reason. Mostly due to the fact that you had no idea what would occur when you started talking again. However, it is now in the past. Your voice has been heard again. In addition, your authority will return whenever you are able to speak again. You have been granted entrance by heaven. You are now responsible for managing it. There is a responsibility that comes along with this marvel. Carrying divine fire while also entertaining satanic patterns is impossible. It is impossible to walk in favor while simultaneously feeding fear. You are unable to dance with the past while also stepping into prophecy. Because you are at a crossroads where kings and queens meet, you are required to make a decision. Right here is the heavenly line that marks the beginning of your future or the continuation of your wait. But not both at the same time. Please allow me to ask you a question with the entire might of heaven pulling behind me. Are you prepared to cease living a life that is not of your destiny? If such is the case, then you should get ready. I'm about to share with you what's going to happen. Should you have faith in Dove, there will be a rapid change within the following 3 days and 3 nights. Something as simple as a phone call, a text message, a chat, a transaction, or even a heavenly encounter can completely transform everything. In spite of its apparent insignificance, it will prove to be the first flash of lightning that precedes the onslaught of blessings. The anointing is real. Seal it with a gift. Tap Super Thanks and sow your $33 seed. You will be presented with a wonderful opportunity within the next week, Dove. It will be placed in front of you. There is no way that this will happen again. The appearance of it might not be what you had envisioned, but it will be engulfed in flames. And only those who are courageous will be able to notice it. You will no longer be able to recognize your energy within the following 30 days, Dove. Your supplications will have definite effects. People who have previously misjudged you will be frightened by your glow. You will be able to cut through confusion like a sword with your awareness. On the other hand, this will only take place if you comply with the spiritual rules that are currently in effect. Therefore, the first step is to not ignore the present moment. Because the adversary will want to divert your attention tomorrow, you must not forget this message, write it down, print it out, repeat it out loud, and keep it in front of you. Noise will be sent by him. Delays will be sent by him. There will be a false sense of comfort. How come? Because he is aware that this message has just caused him to lose his grip on your life. This is the reason why he will fight you so hard after this. However, you will not be shaken, due to the fact that you will remember these words. I am aware of the warning. It has been conveyed to me. My selection has been made. I shall not return to that place. Allow today to be the day that heaven affixes a fiery mark upon you. Would you allow this to be the moment that changes everything for future generations? You will be rewarded by your children. You are being watched by your forefathers, and the entirety of creation is waiting with bated breath for you to resurrect. The final divine activation dove is the dove. If you felt as though this message was written directly into your heart, then you are correct in thinking that it was. Heaven was the one who brought you here. On the other hand, you are required to continue to follow the divine instruction. To express love. Please subscribe right away to ensure that you continue to receive holy broadcasts from heaven. These messages are not typical in any way. They are spiritual blueprints, and if you do not have one, it is possible that you will not have the next alignment. It is not yet complete for the angels. There is currently another message being prepared right now. A door that has the potential to be the one you have been waiting for your entire life. Try not to miss it. It is the voice of heaven. Your next miracle can be waiting for you in the next whisper. Until then, go with confidence because Archangel Michael is walking alongside you at this very now. Moreover, there is nothing that can stop what God has begun. Are you still here? Therefore, you are not simply prepared. The next prophecy will be carried forth by you being chosen to do so. At this point, you have reached a threshold. And because you continue to read, because you did not click away, and because you allowed these words to seep into your spirit, heaven has now activated something in your life that cannot be undone. There is no going back to thinking on a tiny scale, there is no going back to praying at a low frequency, and there is no going back to scaling down your light to fit broken places. You have just entered the realm of divine perceptibility. These days, your angels do not go around in silence. As they walk in front of you, they have their swords drawn. In addition, every action you perform from this point forward will reverberate through worlds that you are unable to even perceive. Indeed, the very actions you choose are turning into a prophecy. Mainly due to the fact that God is not simply gifting you with stuff, child. You are taking on the characteristics of a sign and a wonder. Many people will see God in your life when they look at it. There is no religion, no performance, and no ritual. Rather, it is the unadulterated, irrefutable grandeur of heaven poured into human flesh. Now is the time for me to divulge something to you. Up until this particular moment, something that was concealed. It is not yet complete for the angels. There is currently another message being prepared right now. A door that has the potential to be the one you have been waiting for your entire life. Try not to miss it. It is the voice of heaven. Your next miracle can be waiting for you in the next whisper. Until then, go with confidence because Archangel Michael is walking alongside you at this very now. Moreover, there is nothing that can stop what God has begun. Are you still here? Therefore, you are not simply prepared. The next prophecy will be carried forth by you being chosen to do so. At this point, you have reached a threshold. And because you continue to read, because you did not click away, and because you allowed these words to seep into your spirit, heaven has now activated something in your life that cannot be undone. There is no going back to thinking on a trivial level, there is no going back to praying at a low frequency, and there is no going back to reducing your light to fit damaged spaces. You have just entered the realm of divine perceptibility. These days, your angels do not go around in silence. As they walk in front of you, they have their swords drawn. In addition, every action you perform from this point forward will reverberate through worlds that you are unable to even perceive. Indeed, the very actions you choose are turning into a prophecy. Mainly due to the fact that God is not simply gifting you with stuff, child. You are taking on the characteristics of a sign and a wonder. Many people will see God in your life when they look at it. There is no religion, no performance, and no ritual. Rather, it is the unadulterated, irrefutable grandeur of heaven poured into human flesh. Now is the time for me to divulge something to you. Up until this particular moment, something that was concealed. At this very moment, you are going to become the first person in your family tree to break through a spiritual barrier that previous generations have been unable to overcome. There is more to this than just money. Getting better is not the only goal here. Not even success is the topic at hand here. What's at stake is dominion. You are restoring ground that the adversary believed he possessed for all of eternity. Come to rest in the domain of the spirit that your ancestors mourned over. As a result of your actions, covenants that were previously broken are now being re-established. Also, I need you to take this as seriously as you would thunder. Because of your obedience, your entire fate has been redirected. Heaven changed your name from pending to prepared the minute you replied yes. The moment your heart whispered, I believe. The instant you allowed these words to wash over your uncertainty, heaven changed your name. There will be no more waiting, no more being lost, and no more delays. However, and this is a profound truth, it is now dependent on the way you move. Simply because heaven will not perform what you refuse to engage. When motion and miracles collide, preparation and prophecy come together. To add insult to injury, the supernatural reacts to structure. Therefore, construct the framework. Make space for what is going to happen. Take care of your area. Take control of your time. Alter the atmosphere you are in. When you walk, you should act as if you are going to host celestial glory because you are. Suddenly, your home is turning into a safe haven. A temple is being formed out of your body. Your tone is developing into that of a trumpet. Heaven is about to inhabit all that you come into contact with. However, with this kind of splendor comes the duty of a sacred nature. You are unable to carry this kind of anointing while also entertaining others who make fun of miracles. It is impossible to converse with angels while also arguing with devils. It is necessary to abandon the less important in order to safeguard the sacred. Indeed, it will be expensive for you. There are some friendships that you will outgrow. You will experience a loss of interest in meaningless chats. When everyone else is racing to talk, you will feel as though you are being dragged to stillness. That does not constitute isolation. Consecration is the term. There will be no exclusion of you. The fact that not everyone can follow you to where you are heading is what is setting you apart from others. The only people who will survive in these regions are those who are faithful. In the midst of a throng, miracles do not occur. They reside in the subdued obedience of those who have been selected. Moreover, my dear, you are one of those people. Permit me to look into your future at this moment. When you enter rooms where no one is expecting you, I see you walking in. And when you arrive, the atmosphere changes, not because of your CV or your connections, but because heaven sent you. This is the reason why the atmosphere changes. I envision you writing the vision that could completely transform the life of another person. The reason for this is that heaven will start to pour words through you like prophesy, and they will say things like, how did they know? This is exactly what I needed. When your hands are placed on someone, I sense healing taking place without any hoopla going on. With fire, rather than with force. I see you sitting in silence, tears in your eyes, overcome by the awareness that all the adversary attempted to demolish in your life is now being used by God as the foundation for your throne. I see you sitting in silence. There is more to it than merely being elevated. You are being elevated to the throne. It was not done by man. By the King of Kings, not by renown, but by God alone. The natural realm should begin to acknowledge that you are royalty in the spirit realm. It is time for this to happen. Take a big step. Maintain a tidy walk. You should walk with fire, but walk with love, since the world has waited for you for a sufficient amount of time. A dove! At this point, we have the last seal dove. In the event that your spirit is still burning and your heart is refusing to let go of this message, then you must realize that this was not a one-time occurrence. An entryway for a succession of encounters with the divine was provided by this. In the subsequent messages, there will be more than simply words. Assignments that are holy, timely, and urgent will be given to you. And if you fail to pay attention to them, you can miss the divine instruction for the following love letter that will bring about a breakthrough. So sign up right away, rather than waiting till later. Not me, I'll give it some thought. This miracle of yours has already come to pass. At this moment, it is observing your response. Affirm to God that you are paying attention. Inform your guardian angels that you are engaged. Make it clear to God that you are prepared for the entire scroll to be revealed. This is your affirmative response. It is time for the world to witness what occurs when a soul that has been chosen says yes and never goes back. I take notice of you, child of light. Certainly, I am able to glimpse into the depths of your spirit, where no disguise can conceal you. Here, there is no fear that can speak louder than trust. You have traveled through valleys that are more gloomy than anyone is aware of. You felt God speak. Now speak back with faith. Give through super thanks. Even though you were breaking, you smiled. During the time that you were still bleeding, you assisted other people. You've been patient. You have persevered. You have put your hope in quiet. As of right now, heaven is responding with its power. Your memory will live on forever. You are undergoing a creation. You see, the oil that you are currently transporting. You were unable to purchase it. It should have been pressed. We did not grant your anointing to someone who was not serious. It was acquired through the flames. Not only is what is being bestowed upon you at this very moment a blessing, but it is also a blessing. This robe is worthy of heaven. It is being placed upon your shoulders that a spiritual robe is being placed. It also brings with it the qualities of authority, clarity, discernment, divine vision, and yes, favor from the supernatural. The things that are happening to you right now should not be underestimated. In spite of the fact that you are sitting in your room by alone, reading this with your hands shaking and your eyes filled with tears, you are surrounded by a whole orchestra of angels. Heaven is looking down on you and observing you. And the next thing I'm going to share with you is something that is holy, prophetic, and intimate. Currently, you are in the midst of the season of the double portion. You will now be remembered in places where you were previously underappreciated. The place where you were turned down will now be a place of celebration. You will now be sought in the areas where you were previously ignored. At first, you believed that you were waiting on God. On the other hand, child, God was anticipating the emergence of this version of you. It is the person who has overcome their fear. Is the one who has finished contracting. The individual who is prepared to walk in full power without making any apologies. In addition, I have something else to tell you, and you must always keep this in mind. There are blessings that will be passed down as a result of your yes. I'm not just talking about you here. There is more to it than just breaking curses when you say yes. It will allow inheritance to be given. Your children will be able to live in the abundance that this moment provides. In the realm of the spirits, your name will hold significant weight. The music of heaven will be audible in your voice, and angels will recognize it when you articulate. Because you have just moved dimensions, however, you should not be surprised if the level of warfare escalates after you receive this warning. You have just transitioned between realms. Your presence has now been made known to the throne as well as to the darkness. Be not afraid, however, for I, Archangel Michael, am going ahead of you. I am brandishing my sword. The things that are happening to you right now should not be underestimated. In spite of the fact that you are sitting in your room by alone, reading this with your hands shaking and your eyes filled with tears, you are surrounded by a whole orchestra of angels. Heaven is looking down on you and observing you. And the next thing I'm going to share with you is something that is holy, prophetic, and intimate. Currently, you are in the midst of the season of the double portion. You will now be remembered in places where you were previously underappreciated. The place where you were turned down will now be a place of celebration. You will now be sought in the areas where you were previously ignored. At first, you believed that you were waiting on God. On the other hand, child, God was anticipating the emergence of this version of you. It is the person who has overcome their fear. Is the one who has finished contracting. The individual who is prepared to walk in full power without making any apologies. In addition, I have something else to tell you, and you must always keep this in mind. There are blessings that will be passed down as a result of your yes. I'm not just talking about you here. There is more to it than just breaking curses when you say yes. It will allow inheritance to be given. Your children will be able to live in the abundance that this moment provides. In the realm of the spirits, your name will hold significant weight. The music of heaven will be audible in your voice, and angels will recognize it when you articulate. Because you have just moved dimensions, however, you should not be surprised if the level of warfare escalates after you receive this warning. You have just transitioned between realms. Your presence has now been made known to the throne as well as to the darkness. Be not afraid, however, for I, Archangel Michael, am going ahead of you. I am brandishing my sword. I will dismantle every snare, every trap, every deception, and every task that has been delivered to you in order to confuse you. This moment, you are protected by a mystical shield. Because angels who do not sleep are watching over you, you should walk with confidence, speak plainly, pray without fear, and allow yourself to slumber fully. The next few days can have a different sensation. You can experience some peculiar dreams. It is possible that you will feel pressure or heat in your hands, as well as in your chest and spine. It is possible that you will start to hear more clearly, sense more deeply, and feel compelled to act without knowing why. It is not a coincidence by any means. Signs and confirmations are what these are. The activation of your spiritual gifts is taking place once more. Moreover, you are not insane for having these feelings. It's time to return. Your sense of urgency might not be understood by others. They might make fun of your shift. Allow them to laugh when you say, God spoke to me. They may laugh at your statement. Mostly due to the fact that in the near future, the same tongues that were skeptical would remark, I always knew there was something exceptional about you. You are no longer living for approval. You are living for alignment. And heaven has aligned you with a divine timeline now. The next phase of your life has been unlocked. And I promise you, if you walk in obedience, you will not recognize yourself by the end of this year. Everything will be elevated. Your finances, your health, your connections, your wisdom, your ability to love and be loved, your peace, your power, but above all, your relationship with the divine will become unbreakable. You will stop questioning whether God is with you. You will know without a doubt, without needing signs, without needing confirmation, because you'll feel the presence before you even speak his name. This is the reward of the faithful. You made it through the wilderness. You walked through the silence. And now, heaven says, welcome to the land of promise, dove. One final touch from heaven. Dove, if you're still here, you are different. You are marked. You are not just interested. You are aligned. So now protect this alignment with everything you have. Love letter. Subscribe now to remain in the flow of divine updates, prophetic words, angelic warnings, and sacred instructions. This is more than a message. It's a living scroll. And the next part is already unfolding. I am Archangel Michael, and I will not leave your side. If you do not want to miss what heaven is going to reveal next, then you should seal this moment with your yes. Your miracle has heard your voice. Now, let the world watch your rising with fire, with truth, and with light that cannot be shaken.